Talk to me a little bit on that one. Was like, it was obviously night. You're using stadium lights. How does that affect your ISO?
Well, it's like you'll go with a higher ISO, either 2500
Mhm.
ISO or 4000,
Mhm.
depending on, like I say, if you're using an f4 lens or 2.8 lens,
Right.
and then you're going to balance out with your shutter speed. It's like
Right.
then I'll shoot like anywhere from 1600ths of a second or 2000
Wow.
of a second, and then balance it from there, and then adjust my ISO to where I can get the proper exposure. Now the lighting will always stay the same because of
Right.
the stadium lights, but
Right.
yet what is that sweet point shutter speed you want to be at, and
Yeah.
that ISO.
Absolutely.
Now, when you look at these new cameras, you could shoot at 8,000, 10,000 ISO,
Oh, it's
and
scary.
no noise.
No.
Exactly.
I think on
Right.
that R6, I just shot one at 25,000 ISO. I sent it to John Lawrence, and it was just baffling how it held down the
Really.
noise, and it was scary with the
Wow.
800 on like low light and just
Right.
f11. It was a little scary that it could hold the noise down, and that just the new cameras, the way they're progressing.
Right.
I mean, here you have the open elements in this photo, and this is just that action of him just muddy coming through with the rain going there. It's like that is some intense
Shooting in the
action.
rain is something totally different.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I don't know. Do you shoot surfing it? I mean, they don't surf in the rain, do they? Or how does that? I
Hey,
mean, or you got
any conditions, if the waves are good, they're out in the water. But
right.
I use a water housing.
Really?
So I have custom water housings built for the 1DX3, 1DX2
Okay.
that go around the camera and can accommodate any lens. That's why generally I'm shooting with multiple different lenses too for commercial work or different camera bodies, because I don't have time to open it up, change the lens, even going really quickly like that. So I have multiple cameras with different lenses as I need when more commercial work than actually high action, but all in there, and you still have all your functions on the back. It just makes it a little bit larger of a housing and piece to that. But yeah, it's I mean, tell me, when you're shooting in the rain like this, there's got to be a lot more variables. Luckily, the EOS is a water sealed and pretty resistant, but damn, you must beat those things up in these kind of conditions.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's like we don't have the housings to go around like how you do when you're shooting the water sports, but we have rain covers, right?
Gotcha.
And it's different shooting in the rain than in the normal without having the rain covers, because now you're trying to, even though the cameras are water sealed, you still don't want the rain coming down hard on the cameras, right? You still want to protect it a certain way.
Yeah.
So, but now you're shooting with these rain covers, and you got to get your hands in there, and you got to shoot this way, so on and so forth. So it's like you're not as quick as you were before with having a lens passing it this way, but this shooting in the rain is just something about it where it makes the images just look like football. If you look, like I say, this image here, he's off the ground, he got rain and mud coming off the bottom of his shoes, the socks are dirty, look at his arms. I mean, it was just crazy. But I say it's fun, but it's really not fun shooting right now. I always want to shoot in the snow. Right.
Ooh, that's cool.
It's like, it's terrible, but it's like, just give me one snow game where it's just snowing, snow on the ground, can't see anything, snow players here and there. It's like,
oh, that'd be right.
Yeah, this one here was actually in a snow game, and I converted this to black and white. I couldn't find the color one, but I wanted to show this here, and I wanted to show the audience that's on the set here, where, remember I tell you, I say in my programs, for every action, there's a reaction, right? You can get the sack, the fumble, the catch, but yet what's going to happen after that? One of our linemen, he's going to be inducted to our Hall of Fame this year as well. It's like he came up, and it's like it was snowing, and he kind of like his face was muddy a little bit. He got his eyes closed, and you could see the mud on his face. And I just love the black and white on this one here, and his facial expression after the play.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Jeez, that's great.
And
how's that arm?
Yeah, this is this one here is like, I'm not down low on this one here. That was one of the Saints game that you saw earlier. Same guy, Justin Smith, right? I like this one here because if you look at, he took both of these guys down on one play. The lineman and the quarterback all on one play on this sack here. It's just unreal. He beat the lineman back to the quarterback, grabbed him, and then pulled everybody back at the same time.
Holy jeez. We have a few more, and then we have a fun sequence to go. Oh, here's the stadium shot, huh? That's incredible.
Yeah, you take some of the tools, like this is the 8 to 15 millimeter fisheye. And so I'm in the center of the field, or like on the sideline of the field. We got a flyover coming, And I just point up to the sky. You know, you just create a nice little circular stadium and the formation of the flyover coming through.
Yeah, that makes it a really fun one. Those must be really fun and exciting. Here we go.
And this is one of those wide shots you talked about.
Yes.
Tilt shift. I'll run up in the stands. This was like probably right after halftime. And I'll run up in the stands, use a tilt shift, right? Get this image, and then run back down and start getting back on the action. And like you say, creating those wide stadium shots. But now you're using different lenses than just a regular like 1635 or
tilt shift looks epic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Makes it doesn't look real. Yeah.
And this one here, depending on how we close out, it's like, remember we were talking about the Super Bowls earlier, and it's like, and you know, as a photographer, you always want to get that winning catch at a Super Bowl, right? And the Niners had won 5 Super Bowls prior to me before I got there, right? So this was actually my first Super Bowl with them, right? And we came back in the game, and you know, I'm on the left side of the end zone, as you can see, and we had a play like this that came to my side 3 times in a row, right? And this was a 4th down play. It's like, if you look at it, I am we're about 2 feet away from winning. One more step of him catching that ball and winning the Super Bowl. And so it's just that, you know, that agony of defeat. And I would have gotten the winning catch of the touchdown at the Super Bowl if we would have scored that one there. Because, you know, and I show that one just to see, show you how close and being in the right position, you know. Now, I had other photographers on the opposite side, right, that is ready to cover the play. Because if I'm covering, remember I told you how I missed a play before? Terrell Lloyd, right? This time I'm ready because I got better experience, you know, more knowledge now compared to back then. It's like now I'm in position to cover my zone on that side of the field. Now, if something would have happened to the corner of the end zone over there, but I'm all the way over here, I can't cover that corner, right? Because over there, but we have another photographer down there to cover it, right? And so, but I tell myself, and what another photographer taught me, cover your zone in the area that's in. If it comes in front of you, make sure you get the shot. And that's one of them there.
Damn.
But
what lens are you using? It looks like a wider that you have.
No, this is 7200.
Okay. Wow.
7200.
You're right in that. So it's like, it seems.
Right, because I'm covering everything within that 5-yard line and part back to the goalpost to where I could shoot wide enough so I could see and scan. And I saw him coming, and then I just locked in on the receiver. And if he had another step and dove for that, he would have caught that ball, and it would have been epic.
Next time.
But like I say, there's always a story to the story.
Absolutely.
You know,
always a story to the story.
And the same here, what we talked earlier with the long lens, long pass coming down the field. It was raining that day too. You know, a little lighter rain, you could shoot a little bit better. I mean, but if you look at it like, you know, you get that peak action as he caught the ball right in his chest there, and look at how the depth of field is. You know,
beautiful.
The bokeh on that one, and stuff like that. So
that's gorgeous. With the opposing team in the background there, kind of gives it a good more feel like you just burned them down the line. So
exactly.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. This is a great sequence. And this is something with your knowledge and experience. Can you explain I'm going to go through one time. You start to explain, and then we'll go back through it as we kind of click through.
So this here, we're practicing in Sarasota, Florida, right? And Garoppolo goes back to pass and practice for a long pass. Then during the game in New Orleans, because we traveled to New Orleans right after that, right? It's like he did the same thing. So it's kind of like, it's so ironic that I was there capturing this one on just a sequence of plays, right? And then in New Orleans, when he did that, I went downfield after the first series, right? And I said, okay, let me get some shots of Jimmy just throwing the ball. And then all of a sudden, he was going to throw a long pass, and I got the same exact series as he did in the practice beforehand, and he did it in the game. Now, it's a matter of luck and chance that I was able to get that in the game, right? Which they practice, but they're practicing what they're going to do the next game sometimes, right? But you just don't know when they're going to do it, right? And so ironic, I said to myself, well, I'm going to get him just throwing a couple passes, right, before I move back down the field. So he throws that pass, and the receiver is wide open, catches the ball, runs in the end zone for a touchdown, but I'm down here getting this play right here, right? But one of my other photographers that was with me during the game, she was walking down the field and saw it. She hadn't made it to the end zone yet. Stopped at the 25 on the other side of the field, posted up, got the receiver catching it, shrugging off the other defender, running around into the end zone to get the touchdown. So we ended up
Teamwork.
both getting it and plus in position. Yes.
No,
exactly.
I love the shot, and to see that sequence and knowing and visualizing it ahead of time. I mean, I think that's what we do as photographers is we see these moments, we create them, and you know, we hope it all comes together, and that comes with the preparedness of like getting it all together. So what an incredible body of work that you have there, and the stories that you're able to tell us and share with us and do that. It's incredible. Again, man, your passion, Terrell, is just so inspiring to me, and really stoked to talk with you today. We think we had a couple questions on there that we'll just go through real quickly. And so when shooting football, do you mainly follow the ball? Do you ever try to specifically follow a player or sense a tension between him and another athlete?
You know, it's like I try to like look at it as if I was a defensive coordinator. I look at the quarterback. I try to look see if, you know, do they have 4 wide receivers in there, or 2 tight ends, or 2 wide receivers, or 2 running back and a fullback. It's like it's a game of down and distance, right? You know, they're going to run the ball and they're going to pass the ball in certain situations. So you got to figure out what that situation is. They may run and then pass, or they may pass then run. Right. So it's kind of like now it's a numbers game, right? And so you're really guessing. But I'm watching. You know, I'm saying, okay, there's 2 wide receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Both tight ends are here. If the quarterback hands off the ball, now I'm following the quarterback. Now I got to find a running back. If he goes back to pass, sometimes it's like, you know, if he goes up to throw a long pass, I'll cheat over because I knew that one wide receiver was coming downfield. So now before he even throws the ball, I hand over to a wide receiver, right? And so it's a matter of which one do you want to follow, right? It's a matter of
you can't get it all.
Looking at the quarterback, right?
Yes,
exactly. And sometimes you'll guess and say, okay, if you know that it's a passing situation, then you can guess and say, okay, I'm going to pick this one person here, our tight end, because that's where he's going to go to, right? And then you make it lucky and get it. But then again, you may want to just, you know, just survey the field. You may cheek and peek behind the camera for a second, and you see where it's going, and then you just go real quick, right? And it's a skill within itself, though, basically.
Wow. Damn, dude, that's something that's just, it comes with time and it comes with experience, and very amazing, very inspiring. And I want to thank you very much for being on this and taking your time to speak with us. We had one more question just pop up there. So when you have so many cameras and have to switch quickly, how do you ensure you will be able to properly expose when grabbing a camera off the side that could be easily bumped and changed?
So that one there, it's like I lock in the dials on the camera. So there's a button on the back of the camera where you could put it on lock to where if you spin a dial, it's not good. So you always got to make sure that that's on lock, especially when you're dealing with so many cameras.
Absolutely.
But if you're on my camera left, right, and I have like say my 600 or even 400, and they go with a long pass, and I capture him catching the ball. Now he's coming towards the end zone. So if you're on my left, you're my assistant. That your hands will always be free because I'm going to pass that camera to you. I may even throw it at you, you know, and then I'll grab which I've done before, and I'll grab my 7200 off the side on my shoulder strap, pick up 7200 right before he comes in the end zone. But now you got to make a choice though. When are you going to pass the camera to go to your other lens? And it's a matter of how fast they're coming, because now you make a switch, they're coming fast. Now you got to go here and you got to find them again. So, and you want to get them coming across the end zone, you know, and things like that. But yeah, sometimes I missed but sometimes I'll stay with the long lens and just stay with it.
Absolutely. And like we talked about, you got to push through on that. You miss, you get right back into it, because otherwise you're going to throw your whole self off on that. And like that goes for any shooting, you know, surf, skate, football, anything that you're shooting, you will miss shots, but it's how you get back up, get it going and push forward that you can like still save those shots and get even better shots. You know, we can't beat yourself up. So
yeah, it's all about practice, all about preparation, all about being ready. And you're going to make mistakes.
Absolutely.
Right. You're going to miss something, right? I mean, nobody's perfect. Right.
Yeah.
And so with that, it's just a matter of repetition, practice all the time, knowing your cameras, read the manual, knowing what it does, how to lock the buttons when you don't need to make no adjustments, you know, regardless of what you're doing. And then knowing your exposures, knowing where your exposures are. I mean, I always used to say back in the day, if it's garbage in, it's garbage out, right? It's kind of like get your exposure, get it right in camera, so you have to do less in post-production.
I love that. I love that. That is absolutely true, because that's so much more rewarding than sitting behind the computer. And yes, you're going to do your tweaks and your certain edits and those things. But if you're spending hours trying to tweak and do the colors of what you could do in camera, not as rewarding. So
imagine you have 10,000 images and it's like, well, now I got to adjust 8,000 of them? No.
Yeah.
No, you don't want that.
Holy cow. Well, thank you very much again, Terrell, for being here. Big fan. Looking forward to our next episodes with you again sometime soon. And thank you everyone for tuning in today. Thank you to John and David on the back end for Canon. And we will see you next week for Between Sets with a new guest. Thank you very much, everyone. Stay well. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Between Sets. Make sure to like and subscribe to be tuned in on all future episodes. Thank you.